Hello everybody and welcome back to the Argonath, and today we're going to be having a look at the Divide and Conquer visual armor upgrades that you will see for the units of the Bree-land and the Shire. So without further ado, let's get on in there. Let's begin with the Archer Militia, and the Archer Militia, similar to the Bree-land Militia, which are coming up in just a moment, they both get one upgrade apiece, which comes in at the 3rd tier, or the gold tier, and they get this kind of emblem on their chest. I don't really know what it is, but also the Bree-land Militia, they get a shield, which is very reminiscent of the Northern Dunedain, which I think looks fantastic. This theme of upgrades is going to kind of continue for the rest of the roster as we go into the Journeymen. The Journeymen, they get a upgrade at the 1st tier, or at the bronze level, and they get this new gambus on, and I quite like the change of colour. Before it was quite drab. And then at the 3rd tier, or at the gold tier, they fit in very well with the Bree-land Militia and Archer Militia. Now on top of this, they also, their Pavice gets repainted. Some of them get painted with the kind of emblem of the Northern Dunedain that you see for the faction, and some of them stay regular, but very nice to look at. Perhaps the most changed unit is actually the Banderbras Archers. They get 2 upgrades at level 1 and 2. The first upgrade, it's very minor, but they do kind of lose the hats and they get helmets. And then after that, at the highest tier, they don the colours of Arnor once again. And something that you won't notice from the front is that their shields also change. So here I've got on the left side, that's their basic. In the middle, that is their fully upgraded version with the Arnorian symbol. And on the far right side, that is like, I don't know what you'd call that, but it's different. The Greenway units, they are a slightly more stouter variant of the previous units, and they get 1 upgrade apiece at the 2nd level, and they both kind of get that Arnorian look again. Not quite the same professional feel as you might for the Northern Dunedain. They aren't just clones of their units, but it is highly reminiscent of them. Very sadly, units that don't get any upgrades at this tier are the Watch Sheriffs, the Woodland Hunters, the Lumbermen, and the famed Farm Pikemen. But I just threw them in here anyhow. But now let's get to the Watchman units. These are your late game units, and they all get upgrades at the 2nd tier once again, and they kind of lose the green colouring and go to the black and silver of like the reunited kingdom of or Arnor. I don't really know which one is, but they all fit that theme very nicely, and it kind of shows how Bree in this mod moves from a mercantile nation into more of a militarized one. And I think I probably like the shoulders the most. But as we were speaking of the mercantile side, let's move on to the gatekeepers. Now the gatekeepers have a very similar theme as your bodyguard, and they upgrade to have this very heavy plate armor, and they also get an upgrade to their shield. So as you look at them from behind, on the left you have their non-upgraded, and on the right you have that Arnorian shield. Once again, kind of showing how your faction changes as you move through the campaign. Now your bodyguard as well has the same plate armor, and it's kind of, well, it's pretty much the same as what you have with the merchant infantry, a new unit for version 4.5, although that unit does not get any upgrades, and it's just a slightly more spruced up version of the merchant militia and merchant cavalry, which equally gain no visual benefits. And then finally, I just put in the Dunedain Wardens and the Rangers in there because you might get to play around with them at some point in your campaign at least. And there we go. There you have it. That is all of the visual upgrades. I was really surprised by this one because other factions don't get anywhere near as many upgrades as this. Particularly Room, which didn't even get its own video, but the Banderbras Archers I think might be my favourite unit, although the Journeymen are pretty great too. I like their shields, and all of the Watchmen units. I really love the theme, and really makes you want to play the mod a bit longer as you get further into the campaign. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and see you later.